Right, guys. I just want to show you my tracking sheet, and I also want to talk about um what I think is good to track, and whether I think other people should what you should track, and what is good to track, and what is just too much. Give you some advantages and disadvantages of tracking things. So first of all, my tracking sheet is the layout is just like months and the days, and then the lines. These thick lines represent Monday to Sunday. I was kind of thinking about putting a Friday line in, but there's no point at the moment. So the main thing I've been tracking is my reading, the books. So I track the pages, but it's not just about tracking. It's about uh, like seeing where I'm going as well. Like, so I'm gonna read 50 pages, and I've done 50 pages up to now, and I've also planned out. So if I want to know where I've got to go to, I already know where I'm going next week. I'm finishing this book, and I'm doing 50 pages, so I know where I'm going, and that's what it's mainly about. I've even got the weekly stuff. This was mainly so that when something comes out, I know when it's coming out, and I don't have to. Because if I don't do that, I always forget. Like One Piece, I was like behind like 30 chapters because I just had no way of I didn't even know when it come out. I just knew that it come out every so often, especially because it's on like a 2 week break sometimes anyway, a 1 week break in often. So even with the TV shows, I just the books are the number of pages. So all the numbers here are the page number, not the number of pages. And this is the episode number, and then obviously with the webtoon, that is the chapter number. That's the number that I've got up to. So that's the way I've been doing it. So I started since 2019 September. I actually started in October and then went back, and then these were the first like proper books that I was reading, like with a schedule kind of thing. Like I would be like, all right, I'm gonna read this in a week. So I would get the number of pages and divide it by seven, and then that's how many pages I would read in that day. And then obviously as I've got quicker and as the books have got bigger, um, I've tried to get the text to be of a specific size so that it will equal the amount of pages that the actual physical book has. So um, that's the way I've been doing it, and I can read. I'm reading about 50 pages in 2 hours now or something. But obviously that depends on pages is kind of a random thing because obviously the text size and the spacing and everything can be completely random. So these are the main things I've been tracking: just the books, movies, webtoons, anything with anything that's you can track by like episode, page number. The main thing, the main reason for doing that was obviously not to track the progress, but to see where I was going, to plan ahead, and then I could plan like what I'm going to watch next and how long that's going to take and stuff. Obviously, that changes, so you can just edit the spreadsheet whenever you want. But anything like games or anything that's like time based, like say just listening to a podcast or something, and I do that for like 30 minutes, but I don't track how long I'm doing that, so it's just random anyway. So even playing games is just random time, and it's too difficult to track anything specifically. I can't suggest tracking anything that's just solely based off time because it's very burdensome, and I'll show you why. And that is because I have myself tracked the time using the digital well-being app on Android that comes installed. I would track the time. It just tracks the time that the app is open. Now, obviously, I know there are different ways to track things, but any way of tracking something is always going to be tracking time is going to be burdensome because you have to constantly either start and stop or close your phone so that the app isn't open, or close the app as soon as you get distracted or anything like that. So really we want to track we don't want to just track the time that your app is open. We want to track the focus time that you spend reading. So the reason I actually did this was to see how quick I was reading, and to see how long it would take to finish like a whole series. Like here you can see this one's taken 92 hours, this one take 150 hours. um and the reason I stopped was because of the just the burdensome. Like, it just wasn't worth. How long did this? Like 5 months. So it just wasn't worth tracking the time, the stress of constantly closing the app, and stuff like that. So with the words, that is very easy to track because um, here you can see on Readybook and yeah, Readybooks, the highlighted words. Even when you read a Ready Select book, the highlighted words are all here, so you can see the number very easily. So it's very easy to track, and this is nice to see how many words you've come across per year. Um, so far this year, it's been quite a lot less, and it will just continue to get less and less and less because the current book that I'm reading is absolutely massive compared, especially compared to all these. I think it's like 190,000 characters or something like that, possibly more. I can't remember. Um, my only problem with this was the first 5 books that I read, the history books. They it's you couldn't highlight them because they're PDFs. So I have no numbers of them, but I know it was a lot because I was writing down like a tons of words on just like a piece of paper. So I think that's about everything from my sheet. Hopefully I've explained everything. I'll put the link to this sheet in the description, so you can just nosy. Yeah, I've got every time I watch a movie, I don't track the time, like the length of the movie. I just track the fact that I watched the movie. So it's nice to be able to go back and like see the dates that you've read stuff, watched stuff, and all that. But initially, obviously, it wasn't for that. It was just to see where I'm going. But it doubles up as I can see where I've been when I'm tracking that kind of stuff. So that's always interesting. So if you were to track anything, the main thing I would suggest tracking is um, just like stuff that you can see where you're going. Like I wouldn't even track like the any kind of times or anything, because I think it's like a complete. It's more stress than it's worth, especially for certain people. So there's like 2 types of people. So say we've got person one. I think they would benefit most. So the person is they are not sure what they're doing. Like every day, they don't know what they're doing, and they're just kind of like in some kind of middle ground where they don't really know what they're doing. They're just like, yeah, I want to immerse, and they just come on and then just like and I think these are the people who like YouTube because they go on YouTube and then they just click any random video and like, yeah, I'm immersing, yeah, I'm immersing. So these kind of people, it might be better to, especially if you feel like if you're that kind of person and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, it's good to track where you're going, and maybe like set yourself a goal, like I'm going to watch 5 episodes of this, I'm going to read 30 pages of this, 40 pages of this, any kind of goal that you can work towards so that you feel like you're making progress as opposed to wasting time looking for stuff. So I feel like these kind of people would lose a lot of time just like looking for stuff. And then on the other side, there's the people that want to track like literally everything, all the times and everything. I think these people, because of the stress of it, it's hard to maintain that kind of what would you call it, excitement just for like tracking. So if I was that kind of person, I would try and just take things down to a minimum. To be honest, like if you want to track times and that, it's okay, but there's no reason to do that. There's no reason to track your time. Um, the only things worth tracking are maybe it's probably harder to even do if you don't use Ready Books. It's probably even harder to track your number of words. So maybe people who use Link and stuff like that. I don't know how they're tracking their words, but I know there's counters on there and stuff. But if if you're the kind of person who wants to look back at what you've done, um, then it will you could probably just end up making a document and then just writing down when you started and when you finished, just so you can see what you did when. And it's nice, like in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, you can look back and like, oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that. Um, to be honest, tracking stuff is not really as important as I would say planning ahead is. So tracking all this stuff it's not even necessary. Absolutely, it's none of it is necessary at all. Like none of this matters. I could literally just delete all this. It doesn't really matter. unless you are wanting to share this with other people, like you are wanting to share what you've done. But that wasn't my original reason for even doing this. My original reason was literally just to see where I'm going and to get so that I know what I'm doing on the day, and I go and I get there. Like I already know I'm going to watch this. I already know I'm going to read this. I already know how long it's going to take me to finish this book, and then I'll as soon as I finish this one, I'll work out how long it's going to take me to finish the next one, and how long it's going to take me to finish the next one after that. And that's the reason I do it. But for literally anyone to do it, it's not worth it. But I think that for people who feel like they're not making progress or they're not getting anywhere, it might be better for them to start planning a bit more, so you can see where you're going. You might enjoy being able to look back and see where you've been. I think some people might even enjoy that, just being able to look back and be like, oh, I haven't watched this for 3 months. I'm gonna watch it again and see if I've improved, or even just like looking back, because when you look back at something, it feels like it feels vaguer than what like it should be. So you can always rewatch things, and you could even be like crazy. I'm gonna watch everything. Like I'm gonna watch a TV show, and in 3 months I'm gonna watch the exact same TV show for like every TV show or every book you've read or something like that. Just something crazy. But obviously none of that's necessary. I think bare minimum is just tracking where you're going, because that will keep you on track, and it'll keep your hours where you want them to be. It'll keep your it'll help you feel good about like, yeah, I've read 50 pages for like 2 years, man. Like that's crazy good. Like, and that's the kind of motivation you want to get from tracking your own stuff. So I think that's covered about everything. Um, Hopefully you will have gained something. Hopefully you will understand my tracking sheet more. So if I ever post it again, you'll understand it. But yeah, that's about it basically. So post in the comments if you have any questions about the tracking sheet, maybe something I haven't explained, or like what you think's a good idea, because I know some people like to track even more things than I've even considered. Like there's crazy things out there being tracked. So yeah, that's about it, and thank you for watching.